Okay, this just came in, and I want to make sure I get this correct for you.
Okay.
But your immediate reaction. So let me set this thing up.
Okay.
So I don't know. Did you see Oracle's release
Yeah.
that came out
Yeah.
yesterday?
Allison is now the #1 dude. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big deal. So basically, comes out and says that they have or will have 455 billion in contracts coming in the next few years from these AI companies, OpenAI among them.
Yeah.
And the stock shot up 36% by the end of the day.
Yeah.
And our friend, the owner, Larry Ellison, who I think owns like 41% of Oracle stock, something egregious, like something horrible.
Yes.
So his net worth went up $100 billion with a B in one day.
One day. Yeah.
And overtakes the one and only Elon
That's
as
right.
the richest person in the world.
That's correct.
Let me get this right. $393 billion, almost $500 billion. So my question to you about all this
Yes.
is, how mad is Elon?
Oh, I think the fact that we haven't heard anything from Elon in a while, I think says everything, right? It's like, the fact that we haven't heard anything is says volumes about how that dude is feeling right about now. But by the way, he also just got a new pay package, basically.
Did that
ostensibly
go through?
The promise of it did. I mean, it went through in the sense that they said, if you can raise the price of Tesla to it raised the value of Tesla to $8 trillion, you'll get basically $1 trillion of that. So, which is just, it's ridiculous at its face, but there it is. That's the state of the world we live in now, where Ellison gets $100 billion for making a promise about what's going to happen, and Elon gets $1 trillion for making a promise that's never going to happen. So I don't, this is the world we live in today.
I you know what? I like Ellison kind of behind the scenes. Just, he doesn't get any press anymore. He's just printing money. It's just like, who would have thought Slorical, how slow they are doing everything. Boom. #1 again.
Yeah.
Elon's
there. You
mad.
go.
Elon's so mad.
And now, for your listening pleasure, here's Polizzi and Rose, covering the week of media, marketing, and digital content news. Take it away, boys.
Well, hello, friends. Welcome to This Old Marketing, proudly brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. And I'm Robert Rose. And with me, as usual, is my pal, my colleague, and a guy who is definitely celebrating the Amazon show, The Summer I Turned Pretty, Mr. Joe Polizzi.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know. I don't either. But I have looked it up because it has become like a thing.
So tell me.
Okay, so the Summer I Turned Pretty is an Amazon show, definitely not targeted toward us.
Okay.
It is basically a teen romance. Third season, final season is on streaming on Amazon.
There's 3 seasons of this.
There's 3 seasons of this thing. Yes, okay. That is correct.
Good.
So we needed 3 seasons for the Summer that I Turned Pretty, apparently. I guess it's one for
3
every
summers, or is it one?
No, I think it's one summer.
Summer in 3 parts. Okay.
Yeah, got 3 parts. So
there's 3 parts to this.
But here's the thing. The interesting thing is that it has become such the phenomenon this last season, 25 million views on it. Basically a 40% increase in viewership over the last season. And basically brands they've done such a successful job of doing collaborations, i.e. what we used to call back in the old days, product placement, with brands. So they've got like Coach bags, they've got Sour Patch Kids, they've got so many brand deals, and brands are just lining up to get their products on this show. Everything from the American Eagle jeans to, everything all these brands have lined up. It has become almost sort of its own branded content marketing platform for all of these brands, because it's just it's so driven by the collaborations, and it's just become like a phenomenon of things. And I think it's such a great example of where sort of that particular model is going, with the sort of decline of the 30-second spot, the 60-second spot, et cetera. It's just such a great example of how brands can get integrated into the popular culture.
Who would have thought that, marketing and media would converge into one thing? I never saw this coming.
Somebody should write a book.
We've been doing 497 shows of this crap.
I know.
Talking about this.
We have 3 more.
When are they gonna get it?
3 more to go. 3 shows to go until we do our
very
500th
exciting.
show. Can you imagine?
It's going to be big.
Big.
And by big, I mean the same hour show.
Yeah, basically, right.
We always do.
We
Yeah,
do
I'm
have a
looking
few
forward to it.
surprises though. We have a couple of fun surprises for 500. So
It's
I hope
gonna
you'll
be
all tune in for that,
fun.
because it's
It's
going to
gonna
be a special episode because of the surprises and fun, not necessarily because it's any better content. So
It might be. I
It
don't
might
know.
be.
It's hard. What's interesting is that there are things we talk about that we get responses back that I never like. I always think the things,
Sure.
oh my God, this one's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Yeah.
And then whatever, we'll just cover something in a different way. And they're like, oh my God, your take on whatever.
Right.
Or
It's so wrong.
or your ad
right.
is
People seem to dig it. See, people seem to dig the yacht rock. So we got to figure out what we're going to do next month for which genre of music we should do next month.
But for those people that don't know, I asked you, I said, hey, can I put your ad on my LinkedIn feed? So I put it out there. It's getting great responses.
It's funny.
And
responses
of course,
are classic. Yeah.
Well, my wife, she doesn't listen or watch the podcast, so she doesn't know. And she's like, what was that idiotic thing you put on LinkedIn? I said, that's Robert's ad. I'm like, I said, and you haven't been paying attention, but this is our 4th month of doing these things.
That's
She's
right.
like, is it a marketing for the show? I said, no, it's our HubSpot ad. I mean, it's our selling out ad. We do.
Yeah, right.
And she's just like, I don't understand what you even do in this show.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, now you finally get the idea of the show.
So we did have a request. We do have a request. I got an email request for electronic music, EDM music. So that could be fun. Although I will tell you that the more fun to do is the more classic music. I will just, for whatever reason, it lends itself to, for whatever reason, my style of lyrics better. It seems to be. But maybe I'll try EDM, maybe, or I don't know. We'll figure out a genre.
How about something around like Limp Bizkit? Can we do that?
Or like a 90s rock thing, like maybe a 90s
like what's like a combination of what would have been a Woodstock 99.
Sure.
Like
rap and rock, that rap and rock thing, grunge rap rock thing. Yeah.
I think that would be
that could be good. Our grunge thing could be really good. Grunge with rap could be.
Oh yeah, you could do it like a little Nirvana play.
Yeah, or like you're talking about with Limp Bizkit, like a Limp Bizkit. Yeah,
yeah, but that's 2 very different.
Yeah, no, I know it's very different genres, but yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like either one of those could be winners.
Could be totally fun.
Yeah. Before
Winner Chicken Dinner. Have you seen the Charlie Sheen documentary yet?
No. What did you see it?
I have seen clips from it. I have not seen the whole thing.
How's he look?
It's 2 episodes of 90 minutes. It's like 3 hours of.
Well, that Billy Joel was too.
Yeah, but I can take 3 hours of Billy Joel, right? I mean, I don't know.
How does he? I mean, the last time I saw him, he didn't look so good. Is he okay?
He's apparently all rehabbed up.
He's back.
And
back to
normal? It's clear. The reviews what they're saying is basically that this is his PR moment, right? This is his basically rehabbed, Robert Downey Jr. moment where he's going to make a comeback of some kind, and this is sort of his foray into that, basically, because the documentary is apparently short on like him as bad guy and more as him as just sort of like making a mistake and all the challenges he had with drugs and all that kind of stuff. It's like, so some of the clips I've seen of, they're very, very much like one of these star-funded documentaries, but I might watch it at some point. But 3 hours is a lot of Charlie Sheen. That's a lot of Charlie Sheen.
I don't know why I just thought of this, but for back to your music recommendation, so how about we do like a spin-off of Sir Mix-a-Lot? And it's something like, I like to pay bills and I cannot lie. How about
Okay.
that?
All right. Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Or big bills.
Rap.
I like big bills and I cannot lie.
Okay.
I'm can't deny. Okay.
All right.
Anyways,
Mid-90s
okay,
rock,
before we go
rap.
on with the show,
Yes.
everyone wants to know week 1 NFL came to pass.
Yes, it did.
And even though we both lost, both our teams looked like NFL teams.
And that's the thing. It's like the headlines, all the Cowboy blogs, and I would absolutely put this on the Browns as well, which is there are, of course, no moral victories in the NFL. You lost, right? But this was both of the games that our teams played were as close to moral victories as you could get, right? Cowboys played the champion Philadelphia Eagles. It was at their home. It was in the, they were doing their Super Bowl, laying out the ribbons and the trophies and so there was nobody going to spoil their homecoming, right? So, but Cowboys held them and had a chance to win it in the end, and just a couple of drop passes, and it could have gone either way. So I'm as happy with a loss there as you can be. They didn't get blown out. They didn't, and the Browns, same thing. Basically, they had them all the way, and then they let them come back and win.
The problem with the Browns one is they dominate. See, the Cowboys didn't dominate that game. They just played the Eagles really, really well.
Yeah.
The Browns dominated. They shut them down for 7 yards in the second half. They just could not score. And I don't know. Did you watch the game by chance?
I watched. So I watched the Red Zone channel. So I watched.
So the Cleveland Browns receivers are fine tuning a new type of catch, which they call, let's get it into our hands, flip it up, and give it to the other team so that we can create a turnover. Which happened twice. I have never seen hardly one of these things happen. It happened twice in the same game where the Browns receiver, it's a fairly easy ball. They go to catch it. They get it in both hands, but then they, flip it up to the other team. It was majestic to see that happen twice and to set our team up for another failure. So there we are. But you know what? Flacco played great. We had some good rookies that did really well. We'll see. We'll see where we go.
Yeah,
I'm still.
Absolutely.
You said that you think they're going to be better this year, like an 8 or a 9 win season. No,
I do.
I do. My prediction at 3 or 4 wins is still in hand.
Okay.
Feel pretty good about
All right.
that.
Well, we'll see. We will see. I have more hope than you do for your team.
Well, that's there's no I am hopeless. There's no. Anyways, we got a show here.
We do have a great show. We got a great show. We're going to talk about Reddit marketing and how it is hot. Talk about some of the things going on there. Then OpenAI is making a movie, and apparently the AI movie is not going to be AI slop, but we'll talk about what that really mean. Then we'll talk about that Robinhood, the financial services platform that allows you to do stock trading and stuff, they're launching a social network. We actually talked about that a few months ago, and now it's actually coming to pass. They're launching a social network to compete with X. And the rest. Then David Zaslav, that's basically the new leaders now in charge of all the things Warner Brothers Discovery things, now that they've sort of merged and been able to do that. And now he says that TV is a horrible consumer experience, and we'll see how self-serving that article can be. Then we'll get to our winners and losers, where I'm going to talk a little bit about Ben and Jerry's and some drama going on there. Joe's going to talk about Liquid Death and the Yahoo Fantasy Football and what they're doing there from a winner perspective. Yeah,
really interesting.
And then we'll get to our rants and raves, where I'm going to rant a bit about AI and entry-level jobs and the flurry of articles that are coming out about this. And Joe's going to rave about LinkedIn analytics, which doesn't sound like a sentence I would say, but it is. There it is. Here you have it.
It is. Yeah. It's something. It's
Yeah.
something else.
It's
Okay.
something. It's something.
It's gonna be a port. It's gonna be a part of the show.
It's something.
That's
There's,
what it's going
have
to
you
be.
seen? There's you probably haven't because you're not on TikTok, but there is Don Lemon from the old anchor from CNN.
Sure.
There's a video going around of him. He's basically doing his podcast man on the street thing where he's walking around with a microphone and he talks to people, and he ends up talking to this guy who's like, he goes, you're Don Lemon. And Don Lemon goes, yes, it is. I'm great. What's your name? And he goes, he doesn't say his name. He basically goes, I don't think you're a moron. And Don Lemon goes, well, why would you just insult me like that? And he goes, because you think you're something. And Don Lemon goes, should I not think I'm something? And he goes, no, you shouldn't think you're something. And he goes, do you think you're something? And the guy goes, I think I'm something.
Oh my God.
It's this very funny exchange with it's the man on the street. Anyway,
there's nothing that goes viral like the behavior of Americans.
Oh man, yeah, there you go.
Did you catch the Karen baseball woman?
Oh yes, the whole
they're calling her Karen Ball Snatcher. That's what they're calling her. Karen Ball Snatcher.
There's a joke right there that I'm not going near.
There's a joke that we don't get into that kind of humor at all. But I saw the action figure out, which it says Karen Ball Snatcher.
Did they make?
Well, I don't know if they made one, but there's one.
But the AI thing, for sure.
AI thing where she's all mad and whatever, and there's different size baseballs. I don't.
Right. And you got to believe that the Polish CMO or CEO guy who got at the tennis that we talked about last week, you got to figure he's going, yes, somebody took attention away from me, basically.
It's really, anyway. It's kind of, I guess the Savannah Bananas reenacted the scene with two characters a couple of days later. That went. It's amazing. Like something happens in real life, and then just goes viral everywhere, and then you get the next 15 minutes to come around. It's interesting cycle.
And P.S. That's the name of my new movie. It's going to be called The Ball Snatchers. So anyway,
starring Cleveland Browns receiver Jerry Jeudy.
Ball Snatcher. All right. Why Reddit marketing should be your next big business move, says Forbes. And this is something that is going around everywhere. And I actually have a couple of sort of anecdotal things to share about this. But the article on Forbes opens up by saying, you already know Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok are great social media platforms for marketing your business. But have you explored Reddit marketing? With around 2 billion monthly users, it is a popular platform with highly engaged user base, and now is a great time to consider integrating Reddit into your business's social media marketing. Here's why. And then it goes through a number of reasons. One, because it dominates AI overviews. In other words, it's getting cited a lot on AI. It's a customer feedback goldmine because of the subreddits there, basically people providing feedback on all kinds of product. You can give extra value to your customers. That one seems like a stretch to me, but okay. And basically, it goes through this idea that if you're trying to optimize discovery of your brand, your product, your stuff, and marketing, that getting into Reddit and engaging on Reddit feels very much like we had to engage on MySpace and engage everywhere back in the day. But I have some thoughts on this, but wanted to get yours. What do you think? I mean, you're not a Reddit fan, I know, or a heavy user. I am. But what do you think about this?
I am not on Reddit, so I don't go into your subreddits or anything like that, but I do use Reddit's, whatever, when I'm going and searching things, because obviously whether you're using a ChatGPT for search or whether you're using Google, Reddit's, I mean, it's always a Reddit because if you're you're looking for new sighting or whatever the case is, you're going to find a Reddit and a whole conversation around it. And I appreciate that interaction. Now, we talked about, what was it? I don't know, a couple episodes ago and I forgot the name of the company, but there's a guy that started going on all these Reddits and just on behalf of the company, just started being their customer service person. I love that aspect of it.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, if you can you can create that influential person that's involved in this, where there's discussions happening, that's just old school, social media 101 and getting out there.
Yeah.
But there's no denying, and Reddit is they're propping this thing up. There was an article here I don't have it up here, but there's an article in Search Engine Land where Reddit's launching a whole bunch of pro tools for publishers to basically say, hey, publishers, now's the time. Let's go. Let's create your content. Let's put it on there. And at the same time, we've got these advertising tools. I don't know. You'd have to be bullish on Reddit right now. And you'd probably, if you are creating some kind of an advertising campaign, you would think that Reddit is going to be an option for anything that you're doing today.
Yeah.
Just because of the stickiness of it, and because you've got from a search standpoint, whatever's left of search, they are sending it that way or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you call what's the AEO? Artificial
Answer engine optimization. AEO. Answer engine optimization. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, and you know the what strikes me is, as a Reddit user for, I don't know, 15 years, and it's been one of my core places to go and get informed and read and, you know, all sorts of things, which I don't know what that says about me per se, but there you go. I've been a heavy Reddit user for a long time, and it's interesting because what I see here is, so Reddit, whatever, 2 years ago when they went public, basically it became sort of the pressure for revenue and advertising, and they sort of started to introduce that. There was a big revolt at the time. This was, you know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever it was. And it sort of settled down, and then they started looking at revenue, and revenue was going up. And for a while, you know, for a hot minute there, like in middle of last year, they were so much of the Google organic search results that became its own story about how Reddit was really the primary, you know, source. When you would search anything on Google, you would usually get a Reddit thread as part of that. It's just so much content. There's just so, you know, basically the sort of feeling on Reddit is, if you can think of it, there's a subreddit for it, right? And you basically, it's very rare that there's not already a subreddit for, meaning a category of content that is, you know, something associated with something. And what I've seen here, however, is in the last 6 months, as this has become really popular because of answer engine optimization, there was a great thread on LinkedIn, actually, from someone who was at the HubSpot event, and Neil Patel was actually on stage and was talking about this. And basically, the interviewer on stage with Neil said, "Well, tell us how you're doing this on Reddit," and he basically said, "No comment." Which was sort of, well, that's classic Neil Patel, right? So,
as the kids would say, that's sus.
That's totally sus. So what it says is basically that there are sort of white hat, gray hat, and black hat things you can do on Reddit that would ultimately basically game the system, right, for you, right? Including things like creating false people, creating false accounts, and all that kind of stuff. The reason I mention that is because there is a ethos, if you will, or a culture on Reddit that, you know, Reddit has its own personality, not unlike Wikipedia, where it doesn't, you know, most of the subreddits, basically, it can get brutal fast. It can get very draconian, very mean, very, you know, there's a whole thing there with Reddit that you have to sort of get good at it, right? In other words, they spot out newbies very, very quickly. And so I think as they start introducing things like publisher tools and advertising tools, it will be very interesting to watch whether or not the actual environment changes. In other words, does it get washed out a little bit? Like, do you remember about way back in the day when Craigslist, right? When it was all about getting on Craigslist, get your content on Craigslist. And even if you weren't, you know, sort of advertising like a garage sale or something, you were to get on Craigslist because it would get, you know, search engine optimization. So I think it'll be fascinating to watch this as this becomes a thing. It reminds me very much of the whole trend, you know, back in the 2013, 2015 timeframe, when it was like, blog on Tuesday because it's the best time to blog, right? You know, blog on Fridays because that's when everybody's not paying attention, right? And then, of course, it ended up not being that way because everybody did it, right? So once everybody starts doing this, it will be interesting to see if Reddit keeps up the same thing.
I want to test it. I feel like, because I've been thinking about, you know, we both of us have books that we're launching. You Valuable Friction and me Burn the Playbook. And I was thinking about testing out some Reddit ads and just seeing, because I do not have a clue. Like, I've done ads on almost every platform in my life, but I've never done Reddit and wanted to check it out. But I did want to say, based on your recommendation and based on my kids using it all the time, when Reddit went, Reddit went public as a stock and then went way up and then it kind of dropped a little bit. I looked at it and I said, I'm going to get that. I got it probably at about $100 a share. This is 9 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's at 265 now. Like,
yeah, no, it's for real. They're doing
market
well.
cap is 50. Its market cap is 50 billion.
Yeah.
So
they're for real. It's a real
company.
It's a real boy.
They got human beings and everything working there.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Can I do that? Am I allowed to? Every time I do a narration of some other human being, it either goes really good or really bad. How about?
No, I think that was pretty good.
I'll give me some Reddit.
I don't know.
I like Reddit in the morning.
I'm not sure why they all of a sudden are from Tennessee, but there you go.
That's putting down Tennesseans.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna go to Buc-ee's. To Buc-ee's. Give me some Reddit. I'm sorry, folks. I'm so sorry.
There you go.
Is why. By the way, this is why my wife doesn't listen to this.
Yeah,
because I would embarrass
the
fast.
Entire
Polizzi family.
Yeah,
it goes south immediately.
It goes south fast. Well, speaking of going south fast, what we should probably do is launch a little yacht rock to sort of cleanse the palate and get to paying our bills.
By the way, this is clearly seems to be the favorite so far. So you outdid yourself, Robert. Yeah, and here we go with Yacht Rock.
Started out with nothing but a mic and a vibe. Two dudes in a basement trying hard to survive. Told ourselves we'd keep it real and weird and free, and threw our soul on a 30-second ad retro. We're just paying the bills. Got a yacht rock beat and some corporate chills. If you hear smooth jazz over park jets plugs, that's not a sellout, it's a financial. Yeah, we're just paying the bills, singing love songs to our vendor deals. From email drip to HubSpot fills, we keep it breezy while the algorithm stays.
Being a know-it-all used to be considered a bad thing, but in business, it's everything. Because right now, most businesses only use 20% of their data, unless you have HubSpot, where data that's buried in emails, call logs, and meeting notes, well, they become insights that help you grow your business. Because when you know more, you grow more. You see, being a know-it-all isn't so bad. Visit HubSpot.com today to learn more. Are you looking to create like the greats? Well, let me introduce you to a podcast called Create Like the Greats. It's hosted by Ross Simmons, and each episode hosts an in-depth analysis of some of the greatest creations and creators of all time, along with deep dive conversations on the creative process that went into building companies, brands, stories, and more. If you like learning about history, learning about the creative process, and are a laid-back person, you're going to like this podcast. It's perfect for anyone who wants to learn how to systematize their creativity in a way that allows them to be more productive and still be organized. You'll find Create Like the Greats wherever you find your favorite pods.
We're just paying the bills. Got a yacht rock beat and some corporate chills. If you hear smooth jazz over podcast plugs, that's not a sellout, it's a
We're just paying
Oh my
bills.
God. My two, there's two things that happened there at the end that I'll tell you a little behind the scenes thing
Yeah.
there. So there's a thing where everybody's celebrating and the fireworks go off and stuff like that. And a little sign comes down. And what I told basically what I told the AI to do was sponsored by Hope. Right. And which I thought was just a funny line, right? It was, we're sponsored by Hope. And so, but for some reason it put sponsored by Hope and then something like Decene or something, some weird text there that it just added for no reason. And I was like, oh, I'm not fighting with this. I'm just going to go with it. And then the thing at the end, when they're running down the beach, with the skywriting in the background, which is basically use code payday or whatever. And the guy falls on the beach. It's like, and nobody pays any attention to the fact that the guy falls on his face in the beach.
I think my favorite thing is the saxophones going into the water backwards. The playing of
all the 100 people with saxophones.
It's so good.
It's fun.
Mean, it is so
it's
good.
So ridiculous. It's so fun.
I mean, the problem is that you're raising the bar every time.
I know. So I'm getting better at it.
And
getting better at it.
I don't think our friends at HubSpot realize the kind of innovation that's going on this show. Nobody's doing
ads. They would be promoting it. Yeah.
Nobody's promoting HubSpot. And maybe they don't like it. Maybe that's why they're awfully quiet.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't care. Yeah.
See my field of Fs.
Yeah, there it is. See how barren it is.
It is. My field is barren.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. Let's get to our next story here, which is that about coming to us courtesy of the Morning Brew, that OpenAI wants to make an AI movie that isn't slop. A full-length animated feature would cost much less than its Hollywood counterpart, says the sub-headline. And the article opens up by saying OpenAI, much like Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Now, that's a sentence you wouldn't expect to anyway. It, much like Enterprise Rent-A-Car, gives you the tools to be your own boss. Oh, do you suppose Dave is really... Do you think he's really happy with that opening line?
Is Dave a person?
Yeah, well, there you go. All right, that's a good question. All right. Those tools will be used not for a short video featuring a person with 6 fingers, but rather the foundation of a feature-length animated movie due out next year. Critters, with a Z, is a story about a talking woodland creature. It began as a short film made in 2023 using OpenAI's DALL-E image generator. Now that the technology has progressed, an extended version will provide a test case for efficiency and quality. Critters has an estimated budget of $30 million. Okay. Animated films usually have much higher budgets that can approach $200 million. No, they don't, but that's okay. The usual production time is around 3 or 4 years, but the makers of Critters, which still lacks a distributor, believe they can complete the film in just 9 months ahead of the Cannes Film Festival in May. The script will be provided by some of the writers of Paddington in Peru, and the movie will include human voice actors and artists whose work will be fed into OpenAI's machine. So basically, the audio, the script, the only thing that's not going to be human made here is going to be the animation, I guess. Anyway, prepare for pushback, says the article. AI's involvement in movie making has already evoked widespread criticism, including for Adrian Brody's enhanced accent in The Brutalist and the altered version of The Wizard of Oz on screens at the Sphere. And they're also basically Warner Brothers and Disney and Universal are also suing AI image creator Midjourney for alleged infringing on their copyrighted work. Yep. So thoughts on this?
I could hear the disdain in your voice as you read through this. I mean, you don't even hide it anymore.
Well,
it's just like, you are the AI curmudgeon.
No, it's not. It's not that I'm the AI curmudgeon. Here's my problem with this is that, I mean, it's like what we talked about at the top of the show with Elon getting $1 trillion out of 8, if he can raise the value of Tesla to 8 trillion, and, Ellison getting $100 billion in one day and a stock lift on basically a promise and a bunch of good vibes, right? It's like, this is a story that isn't a story. Animation studios have been using computer generated graphics for animation for years. Sounds exactly like what's going to happen here, with the exception of that they're going to use AI to generate some of this animation. which it will be very interesting to hear. I will be very curious to hear the story of how they do that. I
Sure.
suspect there will be lots and lots of human intervention here. I suspect it will go faster because, Photoshop made producing photos faster and all that kind of stuff. So I don't doubt that it will be faster. Will it be more efficient? Will it make more money? Will the story be as good? I think that'll only be told when the humans that participated in this create a great script and the voice actors voice it wonderfully and the music is wonderful. That's also created probably by humans. And if the only thing here is going to be the animation, then to me, it's like, okay, but this isn't an AI created movie here. Right. I don't see the fuss. Right.
So, yes, a couple things. First of all, this is
Yeah.
brilliant marketing for OpenAI. This is what it
Yeah,
is, right?
This is 100%. That's
And the whole thing is a
100%.
content marketing effort. They're going to
Correct.
make the movie, and the
100%,
movie
yes.
is going to get more people talking and thinking about OpenAI. This is great. Now, that said, let's just talk a little bit about what's going to happen in the future. You and I predicted on this show that this is back in like 2012 or 2013,
Yep.
2014, when we said that Apple or Amazon or Netflix are going to win an Academy Award. And people were laughing at us when we said this, and that has happened.
Yeah.
And that absolutely. So this 2 years, 3 years, and it's going to be something that is AI from A to Z is going to win the Oscar for a short. First thing, it's a first, and I'm prognosticating, but this is actually going to happen. You can put money on it. 2 to 3 years, I would say, it's going to win for a short, and it's going to set up in 4 to 5 years. You will have soup to nuts, the whole thing done by AI. Best movie of the year.
I don't disagree with that. And I think my prediction, sort of the sub prediction underneath that, will be, and no one will care that it was AI, right? No, and because, by the way, movie studios are already doing this, right? They're already doing animation. They're already doing insertions, B-roll, using AI generated stuff. It's happening in TV commercials first, which it often does in feature film, by the way. Many directors, famous directors, came out of the world of advertising and creating TV commercials. We talked a little bit about this last week about the movie that the ad agency was making, but many of the most famous movie directors were basically ad agency people that directed TV commercials.
Yep.
And when you start to look at the way that Hollywood tends to adopt new technology like this, it tends to happen very much in the background, and it tends to happen very much based on capabilities of the technology and how it can be inserted in small doses at first and then sort of expanded when it proves itself. The same thing is going on here. It's absolutely happening already. Guarantee it. At some point it will, it's the classic, how many stones until you have a pile of stones. It's like at some point the whole shot will be an animated, there will be a show that makes, I guarantee you, in the next couple of months here, maybe in the next year, there will be where there's an entire sequence that's AI generated. And
sure.
And people are going to go, oh, that's cool. Interesting. Movie's still good. Movie still sucks. Whatever. Right. Then there will be a time where half the movie is basically animated by AI. And then there will be one that there's full anime. Maybe this is the one. The only news here is that OpenAI is actually funding this, right? That's the only.
Yeah, it's their own marketing effort. But
That's right.
what you said that I really agree with is that whether it's in your TikTok feed or whether it's going to the movies, people don't care who makes it, how it's made, whatever. It's how they want to feel. So how does this thing make me feel? How does this story resonate with me? It's all they care about. So
that's right.
When you hear about the haters saying there will be a backlash against AI created, I'm like, no, there won't. Nobody's going to care. Nobody cares now.
Yeah.
They just want what they want. Done.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Ridiculous.
Exactly. The only thing I can see happening is that what's not going to happen right away is sort of more of the sort of human generated deep fake sort of thing, because I think that's still a long way from being like, there's still that uncanny valley thing that's going on with that, which is, I think that's going to take longer, right? So we're going to see it first in animation for sure. We're going to see it not as quickly in like real people, like the whole, Robert De Niro thing in The Irishman, where they de-aged him and it was just looked weird because it just the way he walked and stuff, like he walked like an old man, but he looked like he was 30 years old and all that kind of stuff, I think is still a ways off.
Do you want to cover one more before we go on, or what do you want to do?
I do. I want to cover one more before we go on here, which is going to be basically this Robinhood launches a social network here. And this is going to come courtesy of Axios. And basically, we're going to see the headline, but as Robinhood takes on Reddit and X with a new social media platform. Basically, as we see, Robinhood is getting into social media with the launch of Robinhood Social, allowing users to post their trades, takes, and commentary while following other users, as well as avatars mirroring the trades of politicians and executives. And it goes on to talk about basically how this is all going to happen and be a social network. It's funny. Speaking of Reddit, there is a subreddit called Finance that basically is this, right? It's ostensibly, or that is all it is people talking about stocks, what politicians are investing in, what they've invested in, what meme stocks are going crazy, and all that kind of stuff. And in fact, that Reddit subreddit, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, was the subject or the focus of that movie that came out that talked about the meme stock, the
Netflix movie.
Yeah, the Netflix movie that was talking about the meme stock. So this to me feels like an opportunity for Robinhood to try.
GameStop movie.
GameStop, meme stock. Yeah.
So
it's very fascinating to me that Robinhood is doing this. It makes total sense to me because the data here and everything will be very valuable for their own marketing, and it provides a stickiness to the platform. This is definitely a content marketing launch with no doubt about it. This is how to build your community and build an audience.
The reason why this might actually work is because you have to include the trade if you want to talk about it on Robinhood. So you have to use Robinhood. You have to post that you actually made the trade, and then you can talk about it, which is brilliant because you can't get up there and make it, oh, this is what I'm going to do, or this is what I did. And you have to show proof. And that's why the whole GameStop thing worked, because every day, I forget the guy. What was the guy's name?
I can't remember either.
The handle of the guy, Kitty, Roaring Kitty. Kitty. He got up there, and every day he said, here's how many millions I made today, or here's how much I put down, or whatever. And it was that social proof with that. Oh, it was incredible. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm shocked. If you would have asked me 2 years ago, I said this stock is never going to make it. They're not going to make it. And boy, was I wrong. They were just added to the S&P 500 index, Robinhood. I could not believe that.
They have really. They have, for young people, they have really democratized the idea of an online brokerage, right? It's like, young people aren't going to offer up a Schwab account or a E-Trade account. They're going to go to Robinhood because it's that. I mean, they've done a very nice job of branding themselves as sort of the alternative to those big classic, brokerage houses.
Mm-hmm. And quite an all. I mean, they made risks they took risks in the beginning that the Bank of Americas of the world or the Schwabs
wouldn't take.
Do.
That's right.
And that's why. And by the way, let's just talk about your content marketing effort. That's the opportunity there.
Yeah.
If you have to take some risks today. You have to take some big swings. If you do what everybody else is doing, you're not going to get seen. You're not going to get seen.
100%.
So
100%. All right. Let's get to our winners and losers, where Joe and I pick a loser or a winner from the last week of marketing. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I'm happy to. I'm going to put this on the screen so people can see it. And by the way, you people that are not watching us on YouTube or LinkedIn, why not? What is your problem? So Yahoo, I've been doing Yahoo fantasy football for 20 years, which is hard to believe that it's been around that long.
Yeah.
But they came out with a new type of league this year called the Guillotine League. And the Guillotine League is basically you get 18 teams in the league, and every week your only goal is to not finish last. And this has been sponsored by Liquid Death.
Nice.
So it's all in it, and you can see the logo at the bottom. But I wanted to put this up.
Great headline. I love that headline.
I mean, so you go to this one, and they have their little promotion. They're collecting emails. So Liquid, when you go to the whole thing. You get the promotion by Liquid Death since they're promoted. It says, want to cheat on your other beverage company? Let us hit you up sometime to make you laugh and shower you with social deals. Sign up for our newsletter. You get 2 free Liquid Death can coolers. Unbelievable. So I can't imagine what they're getting from a database standpoint. But I love this little at the bottom where you have the little. So basically, you put your email in. You don't hit yes or subscribe. You click hell yes. And then here it says, by submitting this form, you agree to be brainwashed by Liquid Death marketing through hilarious emails, including, and goes on. But I'm just like, they're not taking themselves seriously. They're having fun with it. You can see the logo is about the guy's head cut off.
Yeah. Right.
Yahoo Liquid Death Guillotine Fantasy Leagues. It's just, if you want to go through and just see how you want to do this right and really separate yourself and create a tilt that's meaningful and aligned with your brand, Liquid Death has done a fantastic job at it. And so I just wanted to call them out.
Nice.
And oh, by the way, I finished last.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did?
I'm out.
You're out.
I'm
oh
out
my God,
the first week. I can't believe it. How bad. I'm so terrible at fantasy football. I am
too.
I did the draft and the Yahoo and the Guillotine League said, you're amazing. You got a B+ in your draft. You're going to finish 3rd or 4th at least. I got 44 points or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
It was a weird opening week. It was a very weird opening week. Like on my fantasy team, I have AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, who are 2 amazing receivers who literally caught 0 passes in the Cowboy and Philadelphia game. Like it's just unheard of. And yeah, I mean, it was a weird week, but yeah, there you go.
Love what Liquid Death is doing. Yeah.
So I have 2 quick winners. Speaking of AI, I wanted to give a shout out. I have a friend. We have a friend of the show. His name is Paul Elwood. And Paul, speaking of fantasy football, he organizes a fantasy football league that I've been part of for literally 25 years. It's unbelievable how long this fantasy league has been around. And every year he manages it, and he's funny, and he sends updates, and he's just the best commissioner ever. Anyway, he's a fan of our show, and he works for and basically put together translation sorts of programs for brands. So he took our show and basically translated the video of us talking into Castilian Spanish, just as a demonstration of what can be done. So I wanted to.
You want me to play a little bit?
I just want to play a little bit of it because it's just hysterical, right? But it's also spookily good. Yeah,
I'll play like 30. And by the way it matches with our
unbelievable
mannerisms.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Bueno, en fin, me estoy enfadando otra vez.
Al menos tenemos Happy Gilmore 2. Quiero decir, esa es la mejor, por cierto, chico. O te encanta o la odias. Un amigo mío pensaba que era la peor película de la historia y yo pensaba que era...
Lo veré porque no vi Happy Gilmore 1 ni me importó.
No hace falta.
Sí, ahí está.
Es decir, hay 78 cameos.
Vaya, hay un montón de cameos.
Y no salen los Dallas Cowboys.
Bueno, bien. Está bien.
Pero Travis Kelce tiene un papel principal.
It's so good. It's so good.
You got a little Ricardo Montalban going on there.
Oh my God! When it's going da 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 da, and you go Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. That I actually, people don't know that was actually me. That was actually me.
There you go. So big shout out, big marketing winner this week.
You would never, by the way,
for doing that. Thank you.
If you sort of look at our lips, you could tell, but not really.
No, if you just watch it, you can't. Go watch the video, folks. It's really good.
Nice
anyway.
Job. Yeah.
Thank you, Paul, for that. Was totally fun.
Nice job, Paul.
To do that. Anyway, so my other winner here is actually a loser. It's Ben and Jerry's, who are, maybe this is more commentary than it is actually a winner or a loser. But the point being, they wrote a letter, basically saying that their brand is of course owned by Unilever, and they wrote this brand basically saying, hey, listen, we're being pressured to, not do the things that we normally do, from, the way that we brand, the way that we take positions on social issues, the way that we do these things. And it's basically a public pressure campaign, right? That is ostensibly Ben and Jerry saying, hey, listen, just watch out, folks, because if they're trying to sell this off, our company plus another company plus another company, yeah, here we go. You might buyer beware. You might acquire Ben and Jerry's, but you're inheriting a big mess. We're unhappy. We're unhappy founders. We have an independent board. We've got an activist case. We're basically, we're dangerous. Don't, you better. And so they're basically trying to get out of Unilever either selling the company or selling the company to someone that they don't like.
Yep.
And they want the brand back. And to me, that's like, okay, nice, fine that you've decided that you want to do that. But it also is like, it's a little rich, for you sold your company. You sold your company back in 2000s
for $300+ million.
Yeah. So you're shocked now that the company that bought you might want to actually polish the rock and sell it off, with the other ice cream brands that they have. So, I understand it because they're passionate about what it is they do and they're passionate about their brand, et cetera, et cetera. But you kind of made your deal with the devil, right? You kind of so you kind of need to live with it. So,
well,
yeah. So anyway, I just think
I
just think it's sort of a like, okay, thou doth protest too much.
Well, the thing you have to remember is when you sell your company, you lose your baby. You lose all of it. You have no say, and you have to. So if you're making that deal, you have to know that you will never have a say in how it's run again. You have to take all that out of it. So, and they, whatever. I don't know what they're trying to do. Just go do the things you want to do, because everything involved in this brand you sold off to another company for $300+ million. Get out of the way.
That's right.
I feel bad for them because they feel bad, but you need to know better. Everybody out there that's thinking about selling their company, you can't say it. You got to say, well, you can't do this and you can't do that. You have to make sure. No, you don't. You lose all those rights when you take that check, folks.
That's right. Authenticity is crucial, but so is knowing that when you cash the check and moved on. Basically.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so let's get to rant and rave quickly here, where Joe and I go off a little bit of a rant or a little bit of a rave over something that makes us feel like we spent seasons watching My Pretty Summer. What the heck was it called? The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Summer I Turned
Pretty.
Which never happened to me. I'm still waiting. Maybe next year. Year.
Anyway, so would you like to go first with your rave on LinkedIn Analytics?
I will go. Yes, absolutely. A very, very quick rave. So I'm getting more and more into this idea of shares and saves as a really important indicator of how your content is doing. And of course, the folks at LinkedIn, I love your reaction. The folks at LinkedIn are adding, just released that they're gonna have shares and saves. That if you are putting anything on YouTube, you can see it on the screen. You're seeing this right now, where you can see the social engagement, you can see the saves and the shares. I think it's very important. And so like when we put the ad for, your Yacht Rock ad on there, you could see then how many people saved it and shared it. That's a big deal. Don't you think so, Robert?
LinkedIn can do to add more measurement and analytics is a good thing in my mind, because I'm finding real value in LinkedIn. And so anything that can help me be better, sharper, et cetera, and understand how the content is engaging none of it's a bad thing. It's all a good thing.
So, and then at the same time, you're right. There are a lot of negative reactions to LinkedIn these days, that it's all a lot of AI slop going in on LinkedIn right now. And I think they'll get it together on that.
Yeah.
One. But so I don't know. We'll see. So what do you got? What's your?
So I got a little rant, I guess. Rant is the right way. So the news article that we'll link to is one of many that is coming out here, which basically says AI is not just ending entry-level jobs; it's ending the career ladder as we know it. And basically the key points, because now MSNBC is now copying Axios and the way that they do things. basically saying that postings for entry-level jobs in the U.S. overall have declined about 35% since 2023, according to labor research Revelio Labs. Job losses among 16 to 24-year-olds are rising as the U.S. labor market hit its roughest patch, and forecasts that AI will wipe out many entry-level roles pose a much bigger question than current job market woes. And then there's a number of other, the Wall Street Journal has an article about this. There's a number of folks that have put out articles recently basically saying that AI is going to replace entry level jobs. And the immediate narrative seems to be, at least from what I'm seeing across LinkedIn and, social posts and some sort of bloggers and sort of things like, it's like, yeah, of course it is, right? So we need to get good at AI because it's going to take away entry level jobs. And my response to that is, wait a minute, hold on. If we believe that it's going to chop off the bottom rung of the career entry ladder, then all you're saying basically is that you're waiting for version 2.0 of AI to take off the next rung, and you're waiting for version 3.0 to take off the next. How long before that slippery slope becomes the CMO becoming an entry level job? And it makes no sense that this would, first of all, it makes no sense that people would do it. But, and as I've said before, it doesn't mean that people won't do stupid things. But the point is when you hire someone for an entry level job, it's not that you're hiring them with and this is especially true in marketing. I can't speak for finance or legal or other areas, where this may also be happening, but I'll speak only for marketing, which is, when you hire somebody for an entry-level marketing job, it's not like you're hiring someone who's coming in that is literally a blank whiteboard robot that you have to basically fill full of knowledge. You're hiring someone who has experience. Their experience is college. Their experience is a backpacking trip across Europe. Their experience is a lived life and job experience that basically makes them who they are when they come in. And what you're doing is you're making a bet that they're going to be able to do the entry-level job better than something else, right? Better than another person, better than you can do it, better than the people who are doing it currently, whether it's a replacement or a new position or something like that, because it's a new technology or it's a new thing and you need the new person to be able to do it. And it's basically a low-level job. And what you're hoping, and you're making the bet, is that person is going to get institutional wisdom to be able to matriculate up the ladder and become a valuable asset to your company. And it's fascinating to me, and I'm writing a bit of a rant on this for an article. It strikes me that the loss of, and a bit of a spoiler alert here, we did the CMI's research, speaking of which Content Marketing World is next week, but CMI just did their basic B2B marketing trends. And the most disturbing number in it, and this is a bit of a spoiler alert, a tease, if you will, is 2026 spending priorities. And I'll give you 10 guesses and only one counts about what the number one spending priority next year is. But the dead last is human resources. In other words, new headcount, training, or talent development. That's dead last in spending priorities. And to me, this is the big mistake that's getting made right now, is that we are giving up on the humans. This seems to be the business narrative right now, is that we're giving up on the talent because we think technology is the transformation, not the human is the transformation. And I just think it's such a big mistake. So I think it's an opportunity for those who want to zig while the world is zagging, basically to double down and invest in humans in the team, because those entry-level people, they are tomorrow's middle management and they are, next year's CMO. That talent, that creativity, that point of view, that experience, that world experience that those young people bring to your company is worth way more than a prompt. It's worth way more than an LLM model. And if you as a business can't recognize that and chop off the bottom rung because you can't recognize the talent of young people, then woe is on you, my friend, because that value is way more than the technology will ever provide. And I just think it's a huge opportunity. And I think us giving up these articles, this thought leadership, quote unquote, that speaks to the idea of, young people are just going to have to go get jobs as HVAC repairman or, something like that, is just such an awful place for us to take an acceptance and not rage against the machine and basically make a better case for why humans, and especially young humans that are coming into our businesses, are worth more than technology.
Woe is you. Woe is you, little person.
Yeah. There you go.
Rage
There you
against
go.
the light of the Yes, you know what's interesting
That's
about
right. I'm bringing in my Dylan Thomas.
I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
The one thing that I've been thinking about lately is when in a lot of this AI replaces the human being, we think about what are the skills that we need. And maybe we should start thinking about what are some of the unanticipated skills that a human brings to the table. You mentioned some of those things. You had a trip to Japan, or you're good at cooking, or whatever you can do. In addition, some of those special things are the things we don't think about that are unanticipated, that make that person so much more valuable. And that's what I think we should start thinking about when we're hiring. It's like, and maybe that goes to our hiring as well. Like some of the, like, I would love, like, what's the thing that you're most proud of building in your life? It has nothing to do with this job. Like,
that's right.
Those types of, what do you do in your free time that you really, what's your passion? Like, those types of things. I like that better, because that's where humanity is very, very strong.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
That's it. Although all marketing jobs are going away. We know this. We've talked about it. So what do you got going on this week? I know you got CMW next week.
Content Marketing World. Yeah.
I won't be there this year, but I'm wishing everyone well.
So
I love the whole team. I love all the people.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see people. I'm so excited for it. I'm there through most of it. And then I have to leave slightly early because I'm headed to the East Coast at the end of the week for a training, which I'm really excited about because it's a great company, and I'm excited to do a training in person, which is great because so much of training has been on Zoom for the last 3 years. So super excited about that. And then also I'll be on the road next week when we do our next episode. And getting ready for 500. There's things to do, surprises to plan, content to create. Yeah.
Some work to put on that one. I'm not feeling optimistic about the Browns' chances against the Ravens next weekend. The Ravens are so upset that they lost to that close game at Buffalo. I can't see them.
It's at home too, right? It's in Baltimore, right? Yeah.
So I don't feel good. And we start off at 0-2, and then we have the next week I think is the Packers at Cleveland. Packers are tough. We could realistically be 0-3, and then you're going to hear people talking about, oh, we want the number 1 draft pick the next year, and there we go.
Right.
So, anyway,
because that's what you need is another quarterback.
We do absolutely like a more quarterback. That's all we do. All we talk about is quarterback controversy. And when we have a really good quarterback like Baker Mayfield, we can't handle it, and we have to get rid of him.
Exactly.
Anyways, I'll see you next week.
That's the most Browns thing ever. All right, everybody, thank you so much for making it this far. We love you so much. We will be back next week with a regular show, getting ready for our 500. By the way, if you have any comments, any vocal comments, you can come to thisoldmarketing.com and basically leave us a voicemail, leave us an email, anything like that about, anything you'd like to say about us approaching 500, anything about the show at all. We'd love to hear from you, of course. Check us out on YouTube. And until we see you again next week, just remember, everybody, it's your story to tell. You tell it well. We'll see you next week on This Old Marketing. Hey, thanks a lot for making it this far in this week's episode, and thank you all for being a part of This Old Marketing. You can check out all the show notes of what we talked about today at thisoldmarketing.com, and it's also where you can leave us a review or a voicemail. We need those reviews and comments on whichever platform you follow us on. And if you haven't followed the podcast, please go do that and make sure you catch the latest and greatest episodes every Friday morning. We're on Apple and Spotify and all your other favorite podcatchers, of course, but we'd love it if you went over and subscribed to us on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. youtube.com/@thisoldmarketing. We'll see you again next week, folks, with another episode of This Old Marketing.